Judges chapter 19. And it came to pass in those days, when there was no king in Israel, that there was a certain Levite sojourning on the side of Mount Ephraim, who took to him a concubine out of Bethlehem, Judah. And his concubine played the whore against him, and went away from him unto her father's house, to Bethlehem, Judah, and was there 4 whole months. And her husband arose and went after her to speak friendly unto her, and to bring her again, having his servant with him, and a couple of asses. And she brought him into her father's house. And when the father of the damsel saw him, he rejoiced to meet him. And his father-in-law, the damsel's father, retained him, and he abode with him 3 days. So they did eat and drink, and lodged there. And it came to pass on the 4th day, when they arose early in the morning, that he rose up to depart. And the damsel's father said unto his son-in-law, Comfort thine heart with a morsel of bread, and afterward go your way. And they sat down and did eat and drink, both of them together. For the damsel's father had said unto the man, Be content, I pray thee, and tarry all night, and let thine heart be merry. And when the man rose up to depart, his father-in-law urged him, therefore he lodged there again. And he arose early in the morning on the 5th day to depart. And the damsel's father said, Comfort thine heart, I pray thee. And they tarried until afternoon, and they did eat, both of them. And when the man rose up to depart, he and his concubine and his servant, his father-in-law, the damsel's father, said unto him, Behold, now the day draweth toward evening. I pray you tarry all night. Behold, the day groweth to an end. Lodge here, that thine heart may be merry, and tomorrow get ye on early on your way, that thou mayest go home. But the man would not tarry that night, but he arose and departed, and came over against Jebus, which is in Jerusalem. And there were with him 2 asses saddled. His concubine also was with him. And when they were by Jebus, the day was far spent. And the servant said unto his master, Come, I pray thee, and let us turn into this city of the Jebusites, and lodge in it. And his master said unto him, We will not turn aside hither into the city of a stranger, that is not of the children of Israel. We will pass over to Gibeah. And he said unto his servant, Come, and let us draw near to one of these places to lodge all night, in Gibeah or in Ramah. And they passed on and went their way, and the sun went down upon them when they were by Gibeah, which belongeth to Benjamin. And they turned aside thither to go in, and to lodge in Gibeah. And when they went in, he sat down in a street of the city, for there was no man that took them into his house to lodging. And behold, there came an old man from his work out of the field at evening, which was also of Mount Ephraim. And he sojourned in Gibeah, but the men of the place were Benjamites. And when he had lifted up his eyes, and he saw a wayfaring man in the street of the city, the old man said, Whither goest thou? And whence comest thou? And he said unto him, We are passing from Bethlehem, Judah, toward the side of Mount Ephraim. From thence am I, and I went to Bethlehem, Judah, but I am now going to the house of Yahweh, and there is no man that receiveth me to house. Yet there is both straw and provender for our asses. There is bread and wine also for me, and for thy handmaid, and for the young man, in which is with thy servants. There is no want of anything. And the old man said, Peace be with thee. However, let all thy wants lie upon me. Only lodge not in the street. So he brought him into his house, and gave provender unto the asses, and they washed their feet, and did eat and drink. Now as they were making their hearts merry, behold, the men of the city, certain sons of Belial, beset the house round about, and beat at the door, and spake to the master of the house, the old man, saying, Bring forth a man that came into thine house, that we may know him. And the man, the master of the house, went out unto them, and said unto them, Nay, my brethren, nay, I pray you, do not so wickedly, seeing that this man's come into mine house. Do not this folly. Behold, here is my daughter, a maiden, and his concubine. Then I will bring out them I will bring out now, and humble ye them, and do with them what seemeth good unto you. But unto this man do not so vile a thing. But the men would not hearken to him. So the man took his concubine, and brought her forth unto them. And they knew her, and abused her all the night, until the morning. And when the day began to spring, they let her go. Then came the woman in the dawning of the day, and fell down at the door of the man's house, where her lord was, till it was light. And their lord rose up in the morning, and opened the doors of the house, and went out to go his way. And behold, the woman, his concubine, was fallen down at the door of the house, and her hands were upon the threshold. And he said unto her, Up, and let us be going. But none answered. Then the man took her up upon an ass, and the man rose up and gat him into his place. And when he was come into his house, he took a knife, and laid hold on his concubine, and divided her, together with her bones, into 12 pieces, and sent her into all the coasts of Israel. And it was so that all that saw it said, there was no such deed done now, nor seen from the day that the children of Israel came up out of the land of Egypt unto this day. Consider of it, take advice, and speak your minds. That concludes Judges 19 chapter. That is, thank you for doing. I'm sorry, this story, every time I read it, just really, what, what a terrible, terrible thing to do to someone. One, for him to give his concubine, his wife, as earlier said in the tale, it was his wife, and his concubine. I don't understand the references, how she's one and the other. I thought it was an either or, but apparently it's both under this particular situation. And he gives her away so they won't mess with him. And they abuse her till she died. So so he cuts her up into 12 pieces and sends her parts of her body to all the coasts of Israel. So, what a strange people. What a strange culture. Today we have a different set of culture. In a situation like that, you would hope you had an AR-15. These guys come knocking at your door like that, you blast them to pieces. Booger that. They're not coming after my wife. And they're not coming after me either. I'll take them, put pieces of lead up their butt. I'm glad we've got the Second Amendment rights here in this country. These idiots, these fools that want to take away our guns, they're working for people that want to be your masters, that want to have total control over you. They can be damned and go to hell. That's my opinion. Because they're murderers from the get-go. They want to take away your guns so they can murder you freely. So I say, no, stand up to the bastards. That's why we have Second Amendment rights. We can fight them and we can fight our government if it tries to do the same thing. Because that's wrong. That's just flat wrong. But that has nothing to do with loving one another, as Jesus said. But then again, if you lay down, anybody will step on you and crush your head. Well, I told you once, Jesus healed me, told me stand on my feet. Well, he wouldn't want me to lay down for murdering sons of Belial. Stand up to him. Sure, maybe if you live by the sword, you may die by the sword, but at least if you're protecting your own and protecting your house and protecting your family and your own self, I believe that's right. Because Jesus said to his disciples in Luke, take up a sword, for this gospel must be preached. And if you have to fight the sons of the devil to do it, at the same time, he didn't allow them to cut off, to continue to fight when there was whole mobs. They were outnumbered by the Roman soldiers. He didn't want his church to be destroyed in one fell evening. There's a time and a place. First place and the first time, I recommend you get on your knees before God and seek his counsel. And if he says, go up, I'll deliver the enemy into your hands, be prepared to take them and do unto them as they deserve. He said, don't go up, then don't. Seek God's advice first, his presence and his help, his deliverance. And if you have it, walk in it. Be a man, be a woman, protect your own. Do it in love, but protect your own. Stand your ground. God bless you. I know I speak strong words tonight, but I'm not angry with them, but I know that they're not up to good. They're not to no good, just like these guys were up to no good. Don't let the enemy run over you. Stand up to him. Tell him to go away in the name of Jesus. And if they still persist, protect yourself. You have that right. The Second Amendment, and I believe it's the Ninth Amendment, you have the right to protect yourself. The leftists think otherwise. They can fall on the sword as easily as anybody else, because that's what they're doing. They're putting themselves in harm's way, and they're trying to put you in harm's way. I'm gonna stop. I gotta stop. I don't want to get angry. This is a good place. Ta.